Cafe. Anyway, here we are.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
At lovely Cafe Anyway. And it's episode 2551. I'm going to talk like this with this strange voice for the rest of the
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Love her. For the rest of the podcast. Okay, wait. I think it's coming back. It's Mike Matthews. It's Mike Matt. And I have a podcast for you today. I hope you had a good day. I'm going to say, there we go. Okay, I had to build something while I was singing that song.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I had to build a structure. And it is built. And now the show
Mike's
can begin.
Daily
Because so has this little profound bit of revelation has now being brought to you, has now arrived, and is now being served to you. And that bit of revelation is minimalism is dead. What? Yes, all you folks, which includes 90% of my ex-girlfriends, including my ex-wife, all you ladies that believe in, oh my gosh, I gotta live life more simply. I gotta get rid of all the excess stuff I have. I have too much stuff. I gotta get rid of it. I got all these clothes. Well, you probably do have too many clothes, and you should donate them to some local thrift store or something, because believe me, there are people that can use it. My mom used to shop at the Salvation Army. And back when I was a kid, you know what was really popular was Ocean Pacific, which the kids simply just called OP. And my mom would never buy me an OP t-shirt. I wish I'd be so in if I had an OP t-shirt. I go, Mom, why don't you give me an OP t-shirt? Well, no, I do give you an OP t-shirt. She said, I give you, it's OP, it stands for other people's, because I shop at Salvation Army.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And she laughed and thought that was the funniest thing, and I'm like, Mom, not cool. I miss my mom. Anyway, Cafe Anyway, it's episode 2551, 2551, 200,000 to some 2551. We'll just leave it there. And the podcast picture is of the lovely area in Fremont. Just as you're crossing the Alameda Creek, the water has gone down a little bit, but it's still pretty big. Pretty big. The late great Basil the Boxer and I used to walk along Alameda Creek. It's very beautiful, but it was overflowing as a few weeks ago. It was, yes, cascading. But yes, my mom passed away. It'll be almost a year coming up in a couple of weeks. So I'm starting to remember stuff. It's weird when you come upon the anniversary, you remember all kinds of things that with the stress and the anxiety and the grief and the sadness you bury, you push aside. But then you come back around to that time of year, coming around again. Carly Simon, she knows what she's talking about. She lost 2 of her sisters last year. Coming around. And when you come back around and you start to realize, oh, this happened, that happened. This is the place I was in. This is why I wasn't prepared, or this is why I was so shocked, and how the heck did I get through that? And pat yourself on the back that you got through that, because it's a tough time when something like that happens. And the fact that you're still standing or sitting or however you're enjoying this podcast, hopefully you're enjoying it, means you got through it, and good for you. The Brits say good on you, but we say good for you. So good for you. But what I just wanted to say was the minimalism is dead. And to clarify, I'm going to clarify in 30 seconds. But first, I just have to say the best, most bizarrest thing I've ever seen, and bizarrest is a word, is this New Zealand show called One Lane Bridge. It's very bizarre. You think it's going to be a murder mystery, but then it becomes all supernatural and bizarre in that way. And there's a lot of characters and a lot of beautiful countryside of Queensland, New Zealand. So That's on Acorn TV. I've been watching that lately. Although it drags. It's slow. Okay, Marie Kondo. Remember her? For all of you who live in a condo, maybe her advice was very helpful for you. Because you're like, I don't have much room in this condo. I need more room in this condo. Maybe Marie Kondo can help me with the room and the search. Because suddenly you have that accent and you sound really cool. Because you're from Georgia somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, I worked with a guy who sounded just like this. His name was Mike Markham. Hi, Mike. Actually, I was going by Matt back then. So, hey, Matt, this is Mike Markham. Okay. I don't know why that's so incredibly bizarre. But Marie Kondo. That's right. Marie Kondo delivered a shock to fans during a recent webinar to promote her latest book, Marie Kondo's Karashi at Home, How to Organize Your Space and Achieve Your Ideal Life. The decluttering queen is no longer tidying up as much after her giving birth to her third son. Or as she put it, my house is messy. This according to Variety and the Washington Post. Kondo became an international phenomenon in 2019 with the launch of her Netflix reality series Tidying Up, in which she helped people clean up their messy homes and declutter their spaces in an attempt to restore calmness and spark joy in their lives. Because we all need a little joy. Where's my joy? I have no joy. Isn't that a dishwashing liquid? Just you can go to the store and buy some joy. While Kondo has long been devoted to decluttering physical spaces, her new book also stresses the importance of cleaning up mental and emotional spaces. Very pertinent in today's world where we are full of anxiety. In other words, keeping your clothes folded and organized can be just as important as listening to classical music in the morning or making time for your children. As we go outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley.
Anyway.
The last place on earth. She says, tidying up means dealing with all the things in your life. So what do you really want to put in order? So she was doing a webinar recently from promoting her book, and she added, my home is messy, but the way I'm spending my time is the right way for me at this time, at this stage of my life. Up until now, I was a professional tidier. So I did my best to keep my home tidy at all times. I have kind of given up on that in a good way for me. Now I realize what is important to me is enjoying spending time with my children at home. And that's her joy. What is it that brings you joy? Spend time with that. As long as it's not killing people, that's not a good joy thing. Or doing bad drugs or bad things to your body. Kondo followed up her 8-episode Tidying Up series with a second Netflix series called Sparking Joy with Marie Kondo. That came out in 2021. I was talking to somebody that I know that works at Netflix today. Said, how are things? He said, good. And we really didn't get into the nitty gritty about that whole thing with, they're giving a reality TV show to somebody who was a fake heiress, something like that. Yeah. That's crazy. What else? Oh, all the job layoffs. That's crazy too. Lots of job layoffs. And as you'll remember, it was a year ago where there was the Great Resignation. A lot of people were quitting, and now a lot of people are getting fired. So a year later, how things turn, huh? Okay. Hey, I got this little bit of interesting news. Let's see. San Francisco experienced the largest year-over-year decrease in home sales. Less homes sold in 2022, and prices were down 5.1% compared to 2021. I mean, that's not to me, 5%, but That's how much lower it was with the amount of houses that were being sold in San Francisco. Even with the prices down, buyers have realized that they can be more selective, which means some homes may linger on the market. The ability to have contingencies and be more picky is a plus for buyers. The days of outrageous overbidding may also be behind us, at least for now. It's a huge change from 2021 when some homes sold for more than $1 million over asking. And that was not an uncommon occurrence. And in 2022, not so much. In fact, I had to sell my mom's house after she passed. And the real estate agent was so optimistic. She's like, oh, we'll get a bunch of people bidding on the house and it'll go up. We'll get, maybe over this much more than what we were expecting. That did not happen. In fact, the opposite happened primarily because in Florida, there is a huge insurance problem where people can't insure homes. And they're very picky, and mom's home was not completely up to snuff and needed a little bit of work here and there. So there was a lot that brought the price down. So 2 Bay Area cities as the coolest markets in the country. San Jose, number 43, and San Francisco at number 39. The hottest cities, Charlotte, North Carolina, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. They're predicted to be the hottest markets in 2022. Ticketmaster's in a bunch of trouble. And this is the song about it. Ticketmaster's in a bunch of trouble. That's because they made Taylor Swift mad. Isn't that a great song? Congress is saying, I knew you were trouble to Live Nation Entertainment. That's a Taylor Swift song. Get it? They fumbled the pre-sale of her tour going on. This is the third time. This tour actually kicked off in November. It's the third time testifying in front of Congress over antitrust allegations since 1994. Live Nation and Ticketmaster first merged in 2010. Yes, that's why. That's why you're paying such high concert tickets prices. To become a multi-billion-dollar company, 3-in-1 entity, event promoter, venue operator, and ticketing service. Live Nation controls the largest and most profitable venues with lengthy and exclusive venue contracts that can last up to 10 or more years. In 2022, the company handled 65%, over half of the U.S. ticket sales, while StubHub, the second biggest company in the industry, controlled only 14%. There is a Republican senator named Josh Hawley who criticized Live Nation and Ticketmaster for attempting to monopolize the resale market. Congress concluded by handing the case over to the Justice Department, which has already launched an investigation into Ticketmaster. And they went after Google recently, so they might be up after them, and they might try to force Live Nation to separate from Ticketmaster. Some analysts have argued a breakup wouldn't necessarily solve the problems surrounding the unregulated secondary ticket market. There's always been problems with concert tickets. Well, definitely since the 90s. In the 80s, we were sleeping outside in parking lots. I slept in the parking lot of the May Company in Oxnard, California, waiting to get tickets for the first concert that I ever went to, Boston at the Forum in LA. Actually, where's the Forum? I should know where the Forum is. Is actually, it's in, well, I guess they say it's Inglewood, technically, isn't it? Oh, well, they say LA. Years later, I'd see Bryan Adams in concert, and we waited backstage. There's not a backstage, but there's where all the celebrities usually come out of the Forum. And I got Wayne Gretzky's autograph. Oh, and I saw Brian Setzer, who eventually married somebody that was a childhood friend, the daughter of my mom's best friend. So, and I should probably contact her at some point because we both lost our moms at this point, and they're probably up in heaven having a good time singing some German songs. But back to the world of concert tickets, it's ridiculous. But I really would love to see. I heard that Seal is going to be performing in Oakland, and here's the catch. Do you know who's going to be his opening band? The Buggles. And that's significant because the Buggles, yes, video killed the radio star. The Buggles included Trevor Horn, who was one of the most amazing producers of all time. He produced all of the big albums for Seal. And he sang for the Buggles. He also sang for Yes. And he's got a great voice. So I don't know. It's going to be an amazing show. And I think Trevor Horn is going to be singing there, as well as Seal, who has an amazing voice too. So what do you think about all of that? You can give me a call at the new phone number. Did you hear? We have a new phone number. Yes, here it is. 510-228-4640. Don't try calling that MM Daily thing anymore. That's done. Google took that away from me. I wish they could have, the DOJ could have broken them up before they took away my phone number, but there you go. So 510-228-4640. Call that number, leave a message. You'll be calling Cafe Anyway, where we are, where all these wonderful people have been hanging out and enjoying our slightly cluttered environment here, but that's how we are at Cafe Anyway. And look who else is here. Hello, Michael Mash, it's Madame Rootabega. Yes, all of that is very interesting. Oh, did you find the story about concert tickets interesting? Yes. Did you find the story about Marie Kondo interesting? Yes. Did you like my song? No. What? There's a bit of an echo out here. Look who else is here. Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant. And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that? Mike, Boston was a great band. I understand about indecision. I don't care if I'm left behind, people walking in competition. All I want is to have my peace of mind. Yeah, peace of mind. Do you know that? Thank you, guys. That was very informative. Beautiful song. Well, there's so much more to get to, but I can't get to it today. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm spent, basically. But there is a new Earth phenomenon that's making heads spin. The Earth's inner core has stopped spinning. What? A new study has found. And scientists believe it could even reverse direction within the next decade. A theoretical physicist by the name of Dr. Michio Kaku broke down the perplexing study on Kennedy. Yes, Kennedy, who once upon a time used to be on the radio station in Los Angeles called K-Rock. And she was on like overnight hours. So basically 1 a.m. till 6 a.m. And she used to do a thing called Poetry with Kennedy. And she'd read a poem at 3:30 in the morning. And I know I recorded it somewhere. I will probably never find it. I have so many cassettes. I have too many cassettes. But I don't want to get rid of them because somewhere there's got a poem with Kennedy. The lady from Fox, not either any of the politicians or presidents or other senators and so forth. No. Kennedy, she would call herself the Poho, and she would do a poem. It was pretty bizarre. But she did talk to the theoretical physicist, Dr. Kaku, and he said that Hollywood almost got it right. What? Hollywood gets something right? Well, there's a movie called The Core where the core of the Earth stops spinning, The magnetic field collapses, the atmosphere collapses, all heck breaks loose, and now we have scientists at Beijing University saying it's happening. The core of the Earth has in fact came to a halt in 2009. What? And now it's about to go backwards, they think. Dr. Keiko explained that scientists were able to develop the unnerving study through analyzing earthquakes. The way they do it is by analyzing earthquakes. When an earthquake happens, shock waves go bouncing around the inside of the earth through the core and creates echoes. Echo! A computer then analyzes the echoes and then pieces it together. That's how we know that the core of the earth, what the core of the earth looks like. And that's how we know that what the core of the earth looks like. And that's what we know when Mike goes into a time loop. And that's what it sounds like when he goes into a time loop. And we find out yes, indeed, the core has come to a halt. Although the study appears daunting, he assures viewers that the Earth changes directions every 70 years or so. But it is a periodic event. The Earth goes back and forth every 70 years. Plus, think of it this way. This is the crust of the Earth. This is the core of the Earth. They're actually disengaged. One can stop and the other one can remain moving, so they'll decouple. And the reason for that is there's a liquid layer around the core. He warned, though, it could have a negative impact on the global environment and climate. So, thank you. Reassuring than not reassuring. Pick one or the other, man. And that was from the wonderful Fox Business website. So, next show, it'll be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the engineer. I did not get time to get to this. Winky is someone that used to hang out with my mom, and I didn't get to meet her, but when I would see my mom and my mom would have her email open, I would see this name Winky and something funny, and she'd send a bunch of emails to my mom. I go, what are these? And mom would say, she likes to send these funny stories, these funny things. Well, I let Winky know when mom passed, and Winky started sending me the emails, and I was so honored. And she just sent one that said, 2 very active seniors, Jacob, who's 92, and Miriam, who is 89, living in the villages in Florida, are all excited about their decision to get married. They go for a stroll to discuss the wedding, and on the way they pass a drugstore and they decide to go in. Jacob addresses the man behind the counter. Are you the owner? Says Jacob, 92-year-old Jacob. The pharmacist answers, yes. Jacob says, we're about to get married. Do you sell heart medication? Pharmacist says, of course we do. Jacob says, how about a medicine for circulation? The pharmacist says, all kinds. Jacob says, medicine for rheumatism? Pharmacist says, definitely. Jacob says, how about suppositories and medicine for impotence? Pharmacist says, you bet. Jacob says, medicine for memory problems, arthritis, and Alzheimer's? Pharmacist says, yes, a large variety, the works. Jacob says, what about vitamins, sleeping pills, Geritol, antidotes for Parkinson's disease? Pharmacist says, absolutely. Jacob says, everything for heartburn and indigestion? Pharmacist says, we sure do. And do you sell adult diapers? Pharmacist says, sure. How can I help you? Jacob says, we'd like to use this store as our bridal registry. Thank you, Winky. Thank you so much. Enjoy getting older, because that's what we're all doing right this moment. And have a great day.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.